go. Setting up for the live. Looks like it's loading. Let's check our time. Yeah, we're right on time. That's great. All right, looks like we're live. Okay. Okay, so welcome everybody. And I'm gonna actually take a minute to not see the screen here because that's kind of, okay, here we go. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is Caitlin, and she was part of our, I guess last week we did a challenge, and she was one of the participants, and she did an amazing job. And so she is here to receive her live insight session with me. And I've been wanting to connect with Caitlin for a while, so this is so perfect. So thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
So Caitlin and I just had a little bit of kind of a rundown before we got live here, so she knows what to expect. If those of you that are watching, my request would be to keep your comments until after the video is done, because for me as the one reading Caitlin's energy, it's just a lot more helpful to just be witnessed instead of feeling other people's energy trying to interact with what we have here. So just save any comments or anything like that until after the live has ended. That would be really helpful. So yeah, so I'm gonna start by just dropping us into a meditation, and we'll just get started, okay? And I told Caitlin I yawn a lot in my sessions, and so for those of you watching, I'm not tired, it's just moving energy. So, all right. Okay, so close your eyes with me. Already feeling the yawns starting. So Caitlin, just go ahead and start by deepening your breath, a deep inhale all the way into your belly. And just exhale. Make the exhale a little bit longer. And just continue to breathe in this way with a deep inhale and a longer exhale. And just notice the softening in your forehead, softening in your jaw, softening behind the eyes, and just allowing any mental energy to just melt away. Noticing a softening in your neck and shoulders. And with each exhale, you continue to move your awareness down your body in this way, just softening the edges. Each exhale takes you down, down, down. Just noticing sensations in the body as you continue to move your awareness down. And eventually you notice that your awareness has reached the connection point of your body to the chair or the earth, your feet on the floor. Just noticing those connection points. And you notice that you're held by gravity, and you can begin to almost see this force of gravity in your mind's eye. You can feel it maybe as tingling on those connection points of your body. And staying with your exhale, you can continue to move your awareness down with a grounding cord. And you can send your grounding cord that's connected to your body all the way down to the center of the earth. Each exhale, you can feel this grounding cord going farther and farther down into the center of the earth. you just begin to notice what it feels like, maybe even what it looks like. And you can energetically sense this cord again with maybe a tingling sensation in those connection points of your body to the earth. And with your next exhale, you notice that your grounding cord reaches the core of the earth. And this core of the earth is a crystalline core. It's filled with golden light. Crystalline core of the earth. And you notice that your grounding cord can connect easily to this crystalline core of the earth. And you feel this connection happening now. And once you feel that this connection is secure, you can continue to use the soft breaths to inhale this golden light that's full of information for you. You can kind of see it as packets of code that you're inhaling from the center of the earth all the way up that grounding cord. And these light codes or packets of information hold exactly what is needed for you today. Only what is needed, only what is important today. And you're inhaling these all the way up your grounding cord. Eventually, this light reaches your body, and when you're ready, you can begin to inhale this information that comes in the form of light into your body. And continuing to breathe this golden light frequency all the way into your body, all the way up, filling all of the areas that you may have a hard time accessing. You can breathe this light into those areas, all the way up your torso. And eventually, this golden light reaches your heart space. And just spend a few moments here breathing this light in and out of your heart as though the heart is doing the breathing for you. And focusing your attention here on the heart, breathing in and out. I'm setting my intention in this moment to connect to your heart energy and for our energies to come together. And stay with this image of breathing in and out of the heart. And as you're doing that, I'm going to just take a moment to open your records. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of those connected to us. And help me to see Caitlin through the eyes of the Lords of the records, and enable me to share the wisdom that the masters, teachers, and loved ones have for her today. Okay, so the records are now open, and so I'm just going to take a moment here and just gather some information. So the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Caitlin, could you show me in this moment what would be most helpful for Caitlin? What do you want her to know today that can assist her in her life right now? So my guides often tell me information through images and pictures, sometimes words. And so what I like to do is I like to just share the image that's coming through, and then I'll translate it along the way. That's usually how it works best. So what I am seeing, the picture that they're showing me right now is, I believe it's you as a child, and you're on a swing set, and you're swinging. And for whatever reason, there's no other children around. It's like you're on this swing set and you're swinging, and there's the feeling that I'm getting right now is, and this is representing something else. So, but the feeling I'm getting right now is a little bit sense of maybe some isolation or feeling lonely, or this may actually be a specific memory I'm being shown. Let me just ask, is this a specific memory, or is this is this a message for her right now? They're saying both. So there may have been a time in your younger life where you may have felt maybe like on the outside of something, or feeling like you didn't fit in, something like that. But somehow they're also relating it to in life right now, it may feel a little bit let me get more clear on what the message is. So help me understand what it is, how this relates to her right now. How does this relate to Caitlin right now? So you're supported. It's not a feeling of unsupported. You're supported, but there's something like you're doing a lot on your own. I mean, from what I know about you, I know you have children. But what the image that I'm being shown now is that you're taking care of a lot by yourself. And I know you're in a partnership, but I don't know much about that personally, but it feels like he might be gone, or maybe he travels for work. I'm not sure. But it feels like maybe there's an absence there. But yeah, and it doesn't feel like a bad thing. It just feels like maybe you may feel like you're carrying a lot on your own right now. And so masters, teachers, and loved ones of Caitlin, can you share why this is important for her right now? What is she to do with this information? It has something to do with purpose. I know you had mentioned that before we got on the call, of like, well, really feeling called to step into a higher purpose, and feeling this excitement and this call. And that's interesting because they're connecting it back to that image of you on the swing set. They're wanting you to kind of bring your inner child that is more playful, more fun, and it's that excitement that you had mentioned that is really up for you when you think about moving forward. But there's something around needing to create space for yourself right now that might feel a little bit harder to access because you are doing so much. But the message that's coming through right now is that creating space for yourself to just be able to feel your own source energy and feel into what there's something that's wanting to come forward. That's what I'm getting, is like this real, almost like a birthing energy, which is interesting. It's kind of like contractions. It's funny because I'm feeling that too, but I think this is for you, of just like really wanting to push something out into the world, but not quite having the space for this birthing to happen. So I think that's why they were showing, you know, you doing a lot right now, and they're really encouraging you to somehow create some space for just you, to not take care of anyone else, if that's possible. Even if it's just, they're showing me like, even if it's just a weekend away, or it's just you, just to get clarity on this vision that's really wanting to come through. And let me just ask one more question before we go into a more open dialogue. Masters, teachers, and loved ones, can you show us more about this vision or this creation that's wanting to be birthed through Caitlin? I'm getting goosebumps everywhere. This is very, yeah, it's a very, it's really important. Whatever this is really important for your soul, is what I'm hearing. This is really important to honor as part of your path, as part of your next step on this journey. I'm also feeling this pressure on the back of my heart, which often, very often means receiving and opening. So again, they're bringing it back to, you're meant to receive some higher information that may not feel like there's space for. Masters, teachers, and loved ones, can you show us some details around this vision? So I'm being guided to do a little bit of toning. I don't normally do this, but I feel like it's really important today. I know you had mentioned your voice. So whatever reason, there might be some energy it needs to move. So I'm going to do that really for a moment, and then see if they can give me some information around that. So yeah, there's lots of energy that wants to move there. They're showing me plant medicine. I don't know what that's about, but there's something around your voice and working with plants somehow. Maybe it's herbs, plant, but almost it feels really shamanic, which is interesting. You have very shamanic energy, and whatever this birthing is, that's really what I'm feeling in the back of the heart, which is actually interesting. I'm feeling like this channel from the back of your heart all the way up through the throat. This whole thing is connected to doing some kind of shamanic work, which may actually feel very familiar from potentially another lifetime. I have goosebumps everywhere. Very, very powerful gift that you hold around, wow. I haven't got this many goosebumps for a while. Very, very powerful gift that you hold from what I'm kind of seeing is from maybe a previous incarnation or previous lifetime. And you have guides, very powerful guides available to you right now from previous incarnations. What they're showing me is that they've been with you for many lifetimes, and they're here for you to access right now. And then I'm seeing the number 3. So there may be 3 of them specifically that are here to help you birth this. Very, very shamanic, very, like I'm seeing you chanting, like you, again, using the voice, and then something to do with, plant medicine. So that's really powerful. And I don't want to take too much time. I could keep going forever on that, but I want to just pause for a minute and take a breath and just check in with you, Caitlin. How is this landing? And then we'll go into your questions.
It's all on point.
Okay.
Did you want more specifics on how it's all on point?
No. Just
okay.
I just want to check in. Okay. Okay. And anything you want me to ask specifically about what came through, or anything if you'd like to just go into any questions, specific questions that you have, we can do that as well now.
So I do have a question. How can I dissolve the obstacle that surfaces inside of myself when I feel the excitement to birth this purpose?
Yeah. So let's ask. So masters, teachers, and loved ones of Caitlin, show us this obstacle. What is this in her way? What is this obstacle that's in her way that she continues to experience when she gets excited about birthing this vision? They're bringing it back to the sensation in the back of the heart again, which is, again, it's receiving. So the message I'm getting right now is that the block, and again, a lot of this stuff that comes through isn't conscious. So you could unconsciously have a block around receiving, or there may be maybe a let me get the words right, a feeling of unworthiness of receiving on some deeper level. Like you right now, what they're showing me is like you right now would be like, I don't have a block. Like I feel like I'm ready. I want to receive, like I'm excited, let's go. But what they're showing is maybe subconsciously there's a block to feeling worthy of really receiving something this big, because it's a gift that's now finally coming through from, again, another lifetime. And that they're kind of showing that this block from this other lifetime is from this other lifetime. Let me see if I can get more clear on that. So show us this block from another lifetime and how she can heal this. What is that block? So what I'm seeing is many lifetimes as a mother, and not just in the physical sense. I'm seeing you like as a nun in whatever reason, but like you have been in this role of being a mother many, many lifetimes. It's actually something you're very, very good at. And just like this innate healer that's within you. But it's like this, what they're showing me is this pattern that's played out throughout lifetimes, might even be through your own biological matriarchal lineage, even this lifetime, where women have, have been of service to other more than service to self. And while this hasn't been, it's not a bad thing. We don't want to have it's not right or wrong, but this lifetime, your soul is wanting to make a shift and make a change from how you've given your energy in previous lifetimes. So what I'm seeing is you've had several lifetimes in the past where you had access to some really, really, they're saying multidimensional abilities, like, but there wasn't space for you to express them. I see you doing a lot of caretaking. And so it's almost like the block, what they're showing me is the block this lifetime is only a remembering of these past lifetimes where you weren't able to express it and there wasn't space for it. And they're wanting you to understand that that's simply a memory. It's like almost like a trauma stored in the subconscious and in the body that is no longer valid. It's almost like an old program. That's what they're saying. They're showing like this computer, it's like that's an old program that's running beneath the surface that you probably don't even consciously know is there, and it's ready to be released. And what they're showing is that you can do this in many ways as long as you're conscious to that being the block of I'm not worthy to be seen. I'm not worthy to take up space. I'm not worthy to claim my power. There's all sorts of stories that are running under the surface that now, when it's up in your awareness now, as you're hearing this, they're saying you can actively work with clearing those by speaking to them directly is what they're saying. So, let me see if there's more information. How can other ways that she can clear this block in this lifetime? They're funny. Sometimes they said, tell her to be selfish. Of course, it's like selfish in the good way. They want you to be very, they want you to take some time to really just put yourself first. And that might go against a lot of, whatever, social conditioning, or also just real life, stuff that you've got to take care of. But they said, ask for help, have her ask for help and to claim selfishness. And I know that we can translate that in lots of different ways, but they're wanting you to really claim some time so that you can feel this birthing that wants to come through and really work. Because by you taking that space, they're saying by you actually taking that space, it is dissolving that block, because the block has everything to do with not being worthy of taking that space, not being worthy of owning your power. So even just by doing that, you're healing that. You're healing that block. Is there anything else that she needs to know about that? Yeah, they just brought it right back to the voice. Like for you, your voice is very powerful. And in this lifetime specifically, it is being used for healing. And it's also they want to encourage you. Wow, I guess there's a lot of energy around that. They want to encourage you to use your voice to also ask for what you need and to speak about what you need. And there's something also about being seen that's part of the block as well, of when you speak about, this is who I am, these are my gifts, this is what I have to offer. That's speaking in a way that is allowing yourself to be seen, and that can feel really vulnerable. But they're asking that, doing that also will help heal that block. Okay. Caitlin, do you have another question around that, or another question in general?
I do not. I was trying to think of one. I don't at this present moment.
Okay, that's fine. Let me just, if you're okay, would it be okay if I just continue to just see what else they have to say?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're like jumping in today. Masters, teachers, and loved ones. What else does Caitlin need to know today? What else would be in her highest and best good? This is so interesting. They're showing me drawing a card for you. So I have never done this before, but maybe are you open to me just kind of shuffling and drawing a card?
Yes.
They're showing me a very specific deck that I have. So let me just, I hate opening my eyes because it's like navigating parallel universes, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So here we go. Okay, let me find that deck. Let's see. So this is the deck they were showing me. It's called the Akashic Tarot. So let's see. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, masters, teachers, and loved ones, please show me what it is you would like her to know today from this deck. What does Caitlin need to know? What's the message for her today? Ooh, okay, you got 2, 4 of roses and 6 of roses. 4 of roses is it's called Views of the Ego. We'll read about that, but basically it looks like 3 men looking at themselves in a mirror. And then the second one is 6 of roses. It's just War of the Roses. It looks like there's a battle going on. So let me just see what these mean. Okay, so 4 of roses. I can find it. Okay, so this is the 4 of roses, Views of the Ego. This card shows that there may be a thoughtless, selfish person in your life, whether it be in love, friendship, family, or a business relationship. The person is self-absorbed and makes plans only in terms of how they affect him or her. You may have lingered too long, repeatedly giving to this person, even though you haven't received much in return. You've tolerated the dismissiveness because you kept hoping things would get better, or perhaps you were too afraid to step away. You are called now to be aware that this person is unlikely to change, and you may be delaying the inevitable. Take an honest look in the mirror and see how staying in this relationship affects your future. So what I'm getting with that is that could be a person, that could be an actual person in your life, or it could be this old version of you that's being asked to kind of shift into, yeah, so it could go either way. Mm-hmm. Do you resonate with that card?
I'm sure there's somewhere I could resonate with that card.
Okay.
Just at the moment, I'm like taking it all in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. Yep, totally. Okay, and then 6 of roses, we'll just see what this is. Okay, okay, this card depicts a war within a relationship and or a battle within your own heart. Most often, this relationship is either romantic in nature, but this card could also refer to a coworker, partner, boss, or family member. That's interesting that they're both, yeah. There could be power plays and at the very least, a lack of reciprocity and communication. Your intuition or your spirit has told, let's see, is that right today? Yep. Your intuition or your spirit has told you that this experience is not a supportive one, but your passions, fears, and needs keep you from listening. You have tried to bring the two together as indicated by the dirty flag with the combined white and red rose on the ground, which is just in the picture. But what's happening in this relationship is not compatible with your spirit's view for you. So there you stand, your spirit and your passions just watching and waiting. The situation is nothing less than karmic, and it's time to listen and take action. Awareness, vision, and self-honoring are required now for you to position yourself best and make plans to leave the battlefield. That's interesting. Okay, I'll send those to you personally later so you can actually feel into that. So let me just pause here for a moment, Caitlin, and I'm just curious, because we're live. What have you noticed so far that's standing out to you in this? What's most important, or what's your takeaway so far?
Oh, well, all of it is on point. The healing the blocks by taking action is something my guides have actually told me multiple times.
Nice.
When I've asked, like, how do I address this? They're like, start doing it. And as you're doing it, the byproduct will dissolve the obstacles. So that's major confirmation. And the space for myself, yeah, that's something I've been like seeking help with my children, because my partner is away. He took like a spontaneous job for 90 days where he worked 12 to 16 hours every day. And we have my 9-week-old and my 6-year-old. And I wasn't really expecting that, and then part of me is like, oh, I can do it. Like, I can do it all. But I'm putting my soul on the back. It feels like I'm putting my soul purpose like on the back burner so that I can be present to mom all the time. And then to not feel, guilty because I want some time. I need that time for my soul. I need that time to be 111%. Like, so hearing this from you, like to ask and to ask for help and to dissolve old, belief systems around, the mom being at home all the time with the children and just, being in that present role, which is great for whoever is called to be in that present role. But I do feel this big purpose of whatever I carry and want to express and utilize for humanity is vital importance of like now, like it needs to be carried out now.
Yeah, it actually, as you're speaking, there is an urgency. Like I feel that, like a push or like pushing, but it's like, I bet that's how it feels for you, is my guess.
Yes, which then, kind of has me in this manic panic almost, like what do I do?
Like shut down almost, of just like,
yes.
Yeah. So let me, sometimes it's helpful if I ask, like just very logical next steps. Would that be helpful? If it just like, okay, what's just a logical next step?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I'll just drop in and see. Masters, teachers, and loved ones of Caitlin. What is the logical next step for her in birthing this purpose? It's a logical next step. So the picture that's coming through is you doing some kind of, looks like it has the resemblance of like a vision board or something, but it's not a vision board. It's like you writing and drawing and like creating, could be in a journal or something, but they want you to kind of like, this is interesting because this came through for a friend of mine too recently, but I think this is for you as well. Creating the future vision and then working backwards, because what's happening and I think this is for the collective as well, but also for you. What's happening is so many of us are birthing these big visions and we're stepping into this totally new version of ourselves, but it's overwhelming because it's so big. And we're the ones writing the map. We're the ones, there's no manual for how to do this, is kind of what they're saying. And so they want you to kind of get clear on the end result that you want, like write it or color and draw, like how do you want your life to look with this new purpose? How do you see yourself moving and flow with this new you, this new purpose in your life? Like kind of getting specific, like how many hours would you want to work and what exactly do you want to do and what do you find joy in and what's your, you know, perfect client and all of this. They want you to kind of see the end result and draw it and create it and then work backwards from that point. And I think, again, like I said, I think this is something a lot of people are going through because it's come up a few times. But that's kind of the first step they want you to take, actually, is get clear on the end result for yourself, so that you can kind of know the steps from there, where without getting overwhelmed, because then you know where you're going. Then you've got a map somewhere. Does that make sense?
Yes, I've actually been
Okay.
seeking some space for myself to do it. I have everything I need to, and a wall space where I'm going to place
Awesome.
it there. So I look at it every morning and I
Oh,
know where I'm headed and all
yeah.
the tools and, you know, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I'm glad that resonated. Yeah. So the space and then the working backwards feels really resonant. And yeah, that's interesting that came through. That's come through a few times. So that must be for not just you. So yeah. Do you have other questions, Caitlin, for today or anything else I can support you with?
And the only other question that's kind of tugging at me, only because this is happening more and more often, is my loved ones who have passed on recently, or even people I've never met in other dimensions because they passed, them connecting with me, and not when I'm seeking to be connected with. It's usually when I'm like busy doing something. And what is my purpose with that? Like, I
Mhm.
don't know what am I supposed to do with that? I don't
Oh,
know.
uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's actively happening right now. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Specifically, my first boyfriend, who I was with for 3 years, and my dad died planning on me and him getting married, and we ended up not getting married. But anyways, he passed away a year and a half ago, and he's been in my field a lot recently. And I thought I was creating it. And then I talked to my best friend the other day, and she said, "Hey, guess who was in the car with me the other day?" And it was him. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not creating this. This is like,
Wow.
um, but yeah, the grief, like just going back through what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Let me just drop back in and we'll ask. So masters, teachers, and loved ones, show us what Caitlin needs to know about these other beings visiting her, and what does she need to do with this? Is there anything she needs to do with this information or these interactions? Talk to them. That's interesting. That's literally what I heard. But let's see. What's their purpose? They're showing me that the ones that you're referring to are not necessarily guides. They're, like you said, they're others that have passed on. It might be these men that you're referencing, but also I'm kind of feeling like ancestors as well, like that you haven't met, are also kind of in your field right now. And they're all benevolent, you know, none of them are bad energy, but there's let me see. What are they wanting? What do they want from her? They're what I'm hearing is they're coming to you because you're the only one that will listen. Those are the words that I'm hearing. So they actually may have been trying to reach other members of your family, but you have an ability to hear them. And they know that. And so you might feel a little overwhelmed with the amount of, there's is there a message they have for her, or they want her to do something for them, or? It's interesting. Like when I try and fill into that, the information I'm getting is like, there's not a specific message they're trying to get through to you. They just want to make connection with someone in the family. And I think that must be, I think that's happening a lot right now because of what we're going through. And as a collective, there's something that they want to be a part of. They want you to know that they're there, but there's nothing that you're meant to necessarily do with these specific individuals that I'm seeing that feel very like in your family, that have, like you said, that have passed on. You may not have even met them. As they're trying to make contact with you, what I'm hearing is you can actually talk to them if you choose to. And you might try that and just see if you want to. And it might be part of your gift to be able to access that realm. But they want, for whatever reason, they want you to know these aren't your guides. They're benevolent, they're from your family, but they're not necessarily guides that are going to help you with your vision. So they just wanted to make that differentiation. Yeah. Do you have another question about that, or did I answer that?
That's answered. What I've been gathering is they just want to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
And I have had conversation before. I just think when the conversation's over, you know, I can go living in multiple realities, I guess. It's kind of
yeah.
I'm having a hard time focusing on
this one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was helpful confirmation.
Yeah. And you actually, as you were saying that, I was hearing you can tell them to please give you some space so you can focus on this vision. Because
okay.
Yeah, it's distracting sometimes?
Well, yeah, because I don't just hear them, I'm feeling them. Like I feel the grief, or I feel sorrow because they're not here anymore, or I feel also reminders. Some of them are like reminding me, you know, of my gifts or where I was at. Like I used to sing with Godfrey a lot. The guy who I used to be with, we sang together. So he actually was the one that was a catalyst to me stepping into my voice. So like I see these things, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else I was missing.
Yeah. You know, talk to them if it feels good. And then also you can have loving boundaries with them.
Yes. I'm learning those.
Right. There's 3 very specific guides that want you to work with them. And I'm not really, one of them looks very shamanic, which isn't surprising around what came through. There's 2 others. One feels very female. It feels like you from another lifetime, actually, because I'm seeing she's like wearing a bonnet or something. There's some kind of a white bonnet on her head. I think it is you. It's a higher version of you from another lifetime that's wanting to come through as a guide. And there's a man that's very shamanic, looks very like tribal. And then there's another one that feels more angelic. So so there's that. Those are the 3 that are here right now that feel like they're the ones that are going to be helping you on this like next vision.
Beautiful.
So that's that. Let me go ahead and close the records. So masters, teachers, and loved ones, thank you for showing up today. We're so grateful for your presence, and we ask that you continue to stay connected to Caitlin and that she can have direct communication with you. And Archangel Michael, we ask that you protect both of our energy today and help us to release anything that is not in our highest embodiment of sovereignty and power. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. Awesome. Thank you so much, Caitlin.
Thank you so much. This has been very helpful for me.
Good. It was so good to connect in this way. You're such a powerful woman, and grateful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
Yeah. Let me see if I can figure out how to I don't know how to stop the live. That's hilarious. I'm sure I can figure this out. There we go. Okay. Thanks, Caitlin.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye-bye.